It's Wednesday, October 25th, 2023. It's a really pleasant weekend, pleasant Wednesday. I've got this beautiful, I'll try to show you this beautiful 3/4 of a moon and these lovely clouds that are kind of spanning the top of houses that makes things look pretty bright and a little bit ethereal. And I don't know, I have a pretty quiet mind. I have a pretty relaxed body. I just did another flash training, probably my 6th or 7th flash training in October with, just really hundreds and hundreds of people trained. So that's super, super cool to get to do that, get to show therapists something that hopefully they'll be able to use over the course of their careers. And it's a lovely evening. You'll notice leaves are out. You'll hear them crunching. And my Aunt Rosie's coming in a few weeks. I'm super happy about that. Rosie was one of those few people in my childhood world that inquired about the inner lives of kids. I think many of the grown-ups were too busy, too preoccupied to be deeply curious about how kids were. Rosie was one of those people, and Rosie was one of those people that was always able to really show a deep love and admiration and belief in you, right? Rosie's one of those people that, even as a kid held a certain amount of belief in me. It's a kind of an interesting thing. And I guess part of what I want to talk about is that what happens when we're grown up and we're in a position to get many of the things we've always longed for. It's an interesting position for me because for the longest time in my adult life, I really kind of wanted to have some savings, and I wasn't really able to do that. And different times in my adult life, and now I have some savings. I have the ability to, pay my bills for a while. I don't have to worry after being a kid where everything was always so stressful. I mean, just where many, many weeks, the core of my diet was frozen corn dogs. It was just whatever we had was what you ate. And not in Louisiana, not desperately poor, not starving, but never okay financially, never for a moment secure financially. And that's a lot of stress. That's a lot of stress that trickled down to kids and followed us into our adult life. So, and I think so much, in a lot of ways, what has opened up the possibility of me being able to have a lot of the things that I've always needed is doing a lot of the work that I've always needed to do in my own healing and in my own recovery. It'll let me wake up tomorrow morning, on a Thursday morning, wake up and just be okay. Wake up really, really sure that I have a place here, that I belong here, that there are people that care about me, and that that this world is mine too. So, at least for a while. So, And again, love is something that I've had before, right? But it's always been complicated. It's always been, um, it's been tentative, and some of that has been probably my own stuff. Some of that has probably been my own obstacles, but some of it has probably also been um, what I felt like I deserved. So it's really, really nice to have that stuff cleared out and not to be confused about who you are and what you're worth and how you deserve to be treated, and to be able to get that, right? To be able to get from someone what you've always hoped that you could get from someone, and be able to give to someone some things that you've always hoped to be able to give to somebody. And this relationship that I've been in a little over a year with this lovely lady named Kathy's it's been really, really, really healing, because I'm getting to have experiences that align with what I already believe about myself. And when you have experiences that align with what you believe about yourself, it's almost like this perfectly lovely cake that gets a perfectly lovely icing. It's just, it really is a nice icing on a nice cake. And there's security in it, right? So secure attachment, it's one of those things. For the longest time, I heard secure attachment being pretty equivalent to not insecure attachment, right? So what I associated secure attachment with was that it wasn't filled with bullshit. It wasn't filled with distance or drama or avoidance or push-pull. But actually, secure attachment is properly named. There's actual security in it. There's there's a feeling of safety and reliability and connection with another person that for me has been missing in many of my prior relationships. And again, I don't mean to disparage people in prior relationships. It may have been times when I was not in a position to be able to receive whatever it is they may have been able to give. So it's I want to be nice. I want to be nice to be nice and kind to earlier versions of myself, and I want to be kind to people who did the best they could when we shared the same life. But it's nice. It's so nice to be 53 years old and to have somebody look at you like you are good enough, right? That you are lovely, just as you are, right here, right now, right? You don't have to be different. You don't have to be how I need you to be. It's a it's a surreal experience to have that at 52 and 53 years old, but I suppose we have to have it sometime. And now's a lovely time. Now's a lovely time to have it. And I think also related to getting things we've always wanted, what I've always wanted is to live a life that has meaning. I've always wanted life to have salience, have consequence, have some type of meaning to it, and not just be about making money, and not just be about doing the things that I was expected to do. But meaning's always been important to me, and it's really elegant to have a life that's deeply meaningful, that has a life um, that I find deep meaning in. And I'm super happy now to be able to, have my mom with me, who has really serious health issues, and to be able to take care of my mom at this point in her life and at this point in my life. It's a thing that I think a lot of people can't do, and I'm fortunate that I'm in a position to be able to do it now. And my nephew is lovely. He's brilliant. He has the potential to be really a superhero in this world if his powers can be marshaled for things that serve him. But having a teen in the house is often a challenge. It's a difficulty. It's something that I didn't necessarily plan. And it's something that I do better with on some days than others. And I know if you have a teen, or you have had a teen, it's really, really hard to know what the right thing to do is. It's really, really hard to find balance. It's really, really hard to create space for these little humans to grow, but also provide enough structure and support and expectations for them to thrive. So it's a great honor to be able to have him, and I know my sister loved him deeply. I suppose she was never really in a position to take care of him, and my goodness, that kid's been through more than any kid should ever have to go through. But it is a great honor to be able to be raising Amy's child in this house, in this place, and at this time. And it's an honor that some days I feel like I don't do well. I don't do well with, because he's a teen and I'm me, and he runs circles around me. So that has its frustrations. It also has its points of beauty and salience. But I suppose Amy was doing as well as she could, and my mom did as well as she could, and I'm doing as well as I could, and somehow we hope that things are going to be okay. So it is also great to be doing all the things that I do professionally. There's deep meaning in all of it. I never for a moment doubt that what I'm doing is important work, salient work, and it's work that I'll be proud of when I look back and reflect on this life. It's work that I'll be proud to have done. So you add all that together, and it's a really good life I have right here, right now. It's got its frustrations. I always have more to do than I can get done in a day. But I guess, to bookmark this moment right here, right now, 53 years old, I am happy and more content than I've ever been. And And that's something. I promise you, that's something.